Someone decided to give their first salary to their parents. Someone did a recharge for their sister's mobile. Some used it for self-appreciation, whereas someone used it to clear off their liabilities. Someone donated it to the society, whereas some built a Tulsi Vrindavan from it. First salary. Isn't it really special? Hey folks, CA Rachana Ranade here, and I welcome you all to a very interesting video which is about top 5 things that you can do with your first salary. So even if there are some viewers who are like, your first salary we got like 5 years back, 10 years back, it's okay. But knowledge never goes waste, right? Try and recall what you did with your first salary. But when I got my very first salary, it was complete amount of 20,000 rupees. When did I get my very first salary? That was in 2009 when I qualified as a chartered accountant. And I remember I had gifted my parents, my grandparents, myself, my boyfriend, who is now my husband. And one special thing that I had done with my first salary is what I'm going to tell in the immediate next part of the video. But what can be the top 5 things? They can be invest, insure, be independent, and these 2 bonus tips are coming towards the end of the video. Let me remind you all one more time that all these creative people are spammers. That's how my account looks like. Also remember, I never give my mobile number in any chat. I neither have an advisory nor do I give any stock tips. Well, out of the 3 I's, that is investing, insurance, and being independent, let's start with the very first one, that is investing. I'm sure you might have heard this story when you were small, that one sparrow used to take 1 grain of wheat and used to put it in a box. Again she used to fly, and again she used to come back, and the same story. And again, and okay, yes. And after a few days, the box used to be full of grain, right? How do I compare this story with the concept of investing? 2 important things that we learn from this story. Number 1, investment need not be done at once, at one shot, not required. Can you do investment in bits and pieces? Absolutely yes. In Marathi, I've said this so many times. Thembe thembe tale sache. Boon boon se hoj banta hai, right? So same thing, your investment can be done in absolutely smaller chunks. And number 2, very important, that whenever it comes to investing, the earlier you start, the better it is, right? So if I were to say that this is an entire investment fund for my retirement, earlier you start, better it is. So the first thing that I did with my first salary was keep aside 3,000 rupees per month when I was 21, 22 for my retirement. There are many people who say, for retirement, I'll start thinking about it when I'm 35, when I'm 40. No, start that retirement corpus right from your very first salary, right? Then which could be the 2 safer options for retirement? Some people are like, no, we don't want an exposure to equity and all that. We need something which is backed by the government. 2 simple options for you. One is PPF and one is NPS. If you want to learn more about NPS in absolute detail, you can watch my video on NPS. You can also check out the I button. And if you want to know about PPF, I'll just tell you 2-3 important points, right? The very first one is currently the rate of return is somewhere around 7.1%. Currently, the government reviews it every quarter. Okay. Number 2, very important, there is a lock-in period of 15 years. You might be like, oh my God, 15 years lock-in period. Itna aage ka kisne dekha hai? Wait, when I started investing at the age of 21, I also might have thought that 15 years is very long. Right now I'm 36. Gone. 15 years have passed by. And this year I'll be able to mature my PPF. At the age of 36, retirement fund first chunk is ready. But if I were to, renew it, can I do that? Yes. Now the interesting point here is, now I need not renew it for 15 years. Now the renewal period is only 5 years. Isn't that amazing? Absolutely yes. Now one last point which comes into your mind is that, okay, chalo, I understood where to invest, how safe is it, all that I've understood. But how much amount is important for my retirement is the next big question. Now if I were to ask you that, assume your age of 60 years. चालेल का? म्हातारा झाला सत्ता. You're 60 years old. And if you feel that right now I should have this much money, then my retirement will be taken care of. What could that amount be?
50 lakhs.
50 lakhs? What about you?
50 lakhs.
Oh my God. great men and women think alike. Let me also achieve some greatness. I also believe 50 lakhs, but in today's world is important. Okay, is more than enough, right? But now, if I were to talk about a person, let's say whose age is what, 22? Saal ka 22? Hasti bhakti, huh? Okay, 22 years of age, because we are talking about first salary, na? Then that person is not sure that today I'm 22. When that person turns 60, what could be the retirement corpus that is required? So assume you just put here, okay, today I know 50 lakhs is more than enough. Today I know that if I put in NPS or PPF, I can get somewhere around 7% returns. Okay. And if I assume the age to be 22, the number of years in retirement till retirement is 38, assuming that you retire at the age of 60. And now if you hit submit, oh, then you easily get the answer right away. You just need to invest 21,377 per month. It's an SIP amount, and the amount that you will get is 4 crore 86 lakhs at the end of 60 years. Okay, I know 21,000 might sound a bit, very heavy in the beginning, but you can of course reduce that. Start small. Even if it is 10,000, that is fine. Even if it is 12,000, that is fine. But again, earlier you start and more discipline, you will surely reach your investment final goal. Well, let's move on with the second I, that is insurance. Why? What happened? Still, your mouth has not yet closed. Why? 21,000 rupees from the very first salary. How is that possible? Okay, remember 2-3 important things. First, even if you start with 21,000 right from your first salary, the amount that you are going to get at retirement was almost 4.75 crores. If you don't want that much, you can reduce your amount. Number one. Number two, 21,000 might seem a huge amount when you are at the age of 22. At the age of 32, that amount might seem a little bit small. At the age of 42, that might seem tiny. At the age of 52, you might not even understand when that amount is deducted from your account, right? So, in the beginning, take a little bit aggressive targets, and these targets seem to be easily achievable as and how you grow in age and as and how your salary also goes. Okay, so jada tension mat lo. If you feel that 21,000 is not possible, you can reduce the amount as well, right? Moving on is insurance, which is the second important point. Now, why is insurance important? Whatever investment planning that we talked about in the first point can go for a toss if you are not well insured. If I'm talking about insurance, I think two types of insurance are a must. The very first one is life insurance. The second one is health insurance. I have talked about both of these on my channel, and I'm sure you might be like, how many times are you going to tell about term insurance and all that on your channel, Rachana? I am going to tell you as many number of times I want to, because that is very important. Maybe at least 100 new people might be like, oh, term insurance is important. Why not? Now, if I were to ask you, Shalmali, have you taken your term insurance? No? दिव्या खालती अंधार म्हणतात त्याला बघा. अच्छा, anyways, so if I were to take you to one of the good websites, which is Policy Bazaar, I'm just clicking on term insurance. Here you can get up to 1 crore rupees of life cover with an amount of premium which is as low as 490 rupees. Of course, the amount of life cover can change, and accordingly the premium will also change. Okay, so let's take an insurance for you, Shalmali. Tell me, what is your name? Okay, now you have to answer few more questions, and these are. Alright, so here you can see whatever are the details for amount of life cover for 50 lakhs. Of course, you can do a drop down and you can choose, let's say you want an amount up to 1 crore also. Your premium amount can vary, and if you can choose, you can check out here. So all in all, you can go and check which is the best policy for you, which one is the best suited for you, what is the amount of premium, what is the claim settlement ratio. All things are very important. Check out in detail and then only take a term insurance. If you want to know more about this, don't forget to check out the link in the description box below. Well, the third I is independence. But wait, what do we mean by this? Till you are a student, it's as good as you're sitting back and relaxing in the rear seat of your car, and your parents are in the driver's and the co-driver's seat. But once you start earning, ideally, you should be in the driving seat and you should allow your parents to relax in the rear seat. right? Now, if I were to talk about independence, just remember this one quote, which is, with great power comes great responsibility. And what do we mean by this? The power is nothing but the salary that you're earning, and responsibility is to spend this salary very wisely and prudently. Now, how do you have some control over your spending? Whenever you're spending any money, make a habit of writing down these expenses, or maybe putting it into Excel, or if you're tech savvy, you can also use certain apps. But some people are like, we are not very comfortable with all those apps. It's fine. Just make a list in Excel or maybe in your notes on your mobile, and just have two major headings for that. Number one, which out of the expenses that you incurred were a necessity, and which out of these were a luxury. As and how you start developing this habit, this is going to be really useful for you in the longer run. And out of these last two, the first one is gift your parents. I feel gifting your parents from your very first salary is something which is really connected to emotions. Every single child feels that till date, I have taken so much from my parents. My parents have supported me so much in my journey of learning, and now I want to start my journey of earning by gifting them something. The value of gift doesn't matter. It's your emotion. It's the token of appreciation that is more important than the value of the gift. So, like this token of appreciation that you give to your parents for all the sacrifices that they have made till date, I think a token of appreciation that I get from you all are these comments. And out of these two comments, this time I would like to give a shout out for Vinita Rawat and Sarvesh Mundra. And I really thank every one of you from the bottom of my heart, because these gifts are like my family members giving me a gift after my every single video. Well, always remember that whenever you're gifting anything to your parents, this is just the beginning. Don't be like the first salary se de diya, baat khatam. No. Also, make it a point that you gift them something after a specific time interval. And the biggest gift that you can give to your parents is the gift of time. Because many a times it happens that as and how your role in the organization goes on increasing, you might get more and more involved in the work, and you might find lesser and lesser time to give to your parents. So, like gifting a specific thing is important, similarly, gifting time to your parents is equally important. And the last one is, exactly, donate. Many of you might have imitated this dialogue कि बस दुआ में याद रखना. But उस दुआ में याद रखने के लिए ideally you should be donating something and then you say कि दुआ में याद रखना. ऐसे कहते हैं कि सुल्तान दिल से होना चाहिए, दौलत से नहीं. So whenever you're earning any amount of salary, if you can promise yourself that at least 1% of my salary I'm going to donate. So let me take an example. You're earning only 20,000 rupees, fine, but is 200 rupees a huge amount for you? I don't think the answer is yes. It's all about building a habit. Building a habit of donating some part of your salary, just say 1%, does not make a big dent to your pocket, but will surely benefit a lot to some needy person in the society. It's all about giving back to the society. हिंदी में भी एक कहावत है, जब आदमी खुद की कमाई खुद खा जाता है तो इसे कहते हैं प्रकृति. जब आदमी दूसरे की कमाई खुद खा जाता है तो इसे कहते हैं विकृति. पर जब आदमी खुद की कमाई से दूसरे को खिलाता है तो इसे कहते हैं संस्कृति. So I believe that everyone should follow and try and be in the last category of Sanskriti. Try and give back to the society. This will in turn benefit you and the entire society. Well, I hope you have understood what can you do with your first salary. And one small point that I want to add at the end is that don't forget to pat your back. Means what? Gift yourself as well from your very first salary. Why? Because you have slogged a lot and that's why someone hired you, right? So try to develop some self-love and gift yourself as well. If you want to know more about CTC, gross salary, net salary, you can click here. And if you want to know more about how to start investing in your 20s, you can click here. Till then, take care. Jai Hind and bye-bye.